Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Today, me and my partner will be presenting about health and safety on working from labor law course with the lecturer Dr. Aribodi Arti SHM Hum. But first, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Farid Rahman Maulana with student number B1A123082 and my partner.
My name is Zahwa Nabila with student number B1A123330.
So without any further ado, let's go into it. First is the definition and importance of health and safety on working. Health and safety on working commonly refer to occupational health and safety or OHC is a critical aspect of labor law that aims to protect workers from potential risks that might endanger their safety and health in a workplace. The key objectives of OHC are: first is the protecting worker, preventing workplace accident and occupational disease. Second is enhancing productivity, ensure a safe and healthy working environment foster greater efficiency and morale. And the third is the legal compliance. Employers must adhere to occupational health and safety regulation to avoid legal consequences.
Several laws and regulations govern the implementation of OHS in Indonesia, including the first one is Law number 13 of 2003 on manpower, the second one is Law number 1 of 1970 on work safety, the third one is Government Regulation number 50 of 2012 on OHSMS implementation, and ministerial regulations. Several technical regulations include the use of personal protective equipment or PPE, regulated under Ministerial Regulation number 8 of 2010, and medical checkups for workers regulated under Ministerial Regulation number 2 of 1980.
Okay, next is the principle of OSC. The implementation of OSC is based on several core principles. One is the hazard identification, recognizing the potential risks in the workplace. Two is the risk assessment, evaluating the severity and the likelihood of risk. Three is the hazard control, implementing and measure to eliminate or mitigate the risk. 4 is monitoring and evaluation, regular supervision and assessment of OSC practices.
The employer's obligations, namely provide a safe and healthy work environment, offer OHS training to employees, supply proper personal protective equipment or PPE, ensure medical facilities are available such as clinics or emergency services, and report workplace accidents to relevant authorities. And the employee's obligations, namely comply with OHS regulations and procedures, use PPE provided by the employer, report potential hazards or accidents to supervisors, and avoid actions that endanger themselves or others.
Next is the Occupational Health and Safety Management System, or OHCMC. OHCMC is the systematic approach to managing workplace health and safety. Its main components include: 1 is the planning, 2 establishing the OSC policy and objective, 2 is the implementation, conducting training, inspection, and ensuring the PPE use. 3 is the monitoring and evaluation, supervising activities, analyzing incidents. 4 is the corrective action, implementing the improvement to enhance OSC effectiveness.
Violations of OHS provisions can lead to administrative or criminal sanctions. Administrative penalties, namely warnings, temporary suspension of business activities, or license revocation. Criminal sanctions is according to Law No. 1 of 1970, severe violations may result in imprisonment or fines, and civil liability, namely employers may face lawsuits from workers or their families for damages caused by workplace accidents.
Okay, next is the challenge in OSC, implementation despite clear regulation. Implementing the OSC often face challenges such as the low awareness among employers and employees regarding the importance of OSC. Second is the limited resources for providing the adequate facility and equipment. Third is the weak enforcement of law by government authorities. Fourth is the cultural barriers to adopting the international OSC standards.
Benefits of OHS implementation for workers is reducing the risk of workplace injuries and illnesses. For employers, namely boosting productivity, improving reputation, and ensuring legal compliance. And for society is promoting safer working conditions and contributing to economic growth.
Okay, next is the case studies of OSC violation in Indonesia. A notable example is the chemical factory explosion that result in fatalities due to the company failure to comply with the OSC standards. This incident is highlight the necessity of the strict adherence to the OSCMC to prevent similar tragedies in the future.
In conclusion, health and safety on working is not only a legal obligation but also an investment in creating a safe, healthy, and productive workplace. Collaboration among employers, employees, and the government is crucial to ensuring optimal implementation of OHS in every industry.
Okay, I think that's all for the presentation. And if there are any mistakes, please forgive. And last I will say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.